Nintendo Direct, my thoughts, my reaction. New here, subscribe to the channel. Let's talk about what they showcased. Pikmin 4 kicked things off. Pikmin 4, I'm not the biggest Pikmin fan in the world, but I do know that a lot of people like it. And more importantly, I do like one thing about Pikmin is the fact that it's one of the better looking Nintendo games in terms of graphics, because there's lots of real stuff that you never really see used by Nintendo in other Nintendo games. It looks like Pikmin to me, just some more stuff added into it, some new characters, new Pikmin types, new arenas, new bosses, essentially what a sequel should be. Surprisingly, this game is coming out pretty soon. It comes out on July 21st of 2023, so not too long of a wait. Pretty quick turnaround time. I have a feeling that this game has been done for quite a while, and they were just like, we'll release it, whenever we have a little bit of time. And I guess the month of July was a good time for them to do Pikmin 4. Xenoblade 3 DLC was up next. They're adding some roguelike challenge modes into the game, which is kind of interesting. Comes out on February 15th for that wave of DLC. Samba de Amigo Party Central. You use your Joy-Cons to shake them like maracas. This was a very popular game. Like back on the Dreamcast, that's kind of where it got its start. I believe it actually came with a set of maracas. I'm not one of the people that is a part of the cult following, but I do know that there is a cult following. There is online play, which is in the game. That's pretty cool. You're battling other people in terms of like consistency and hitting, shaking the maracas at the right time. That game will be coming out in summer of 2023. Next up, we had some horrible game called Fashion Dreamer. You aim to become an influencer in style in a very choppy looking overworld. You choose clothes and stuff, different hairs, designed fashion. I literally could not care less about this game because obviously I'm not the intended target for it. I'm not sure how many people watching a Nintendo Direct really would be interested in this game. I'm not a little boy or a little girl who's into fashion, but whatever. It's a 2023 exclusive game for the Nintendo Switch, so hey, we're starting things off on a high note. Dead Cells Castlevania DLC was shown next. I think it still looks awesome. I do wish they would do a new Castlevania game with the Dead Cells art style. I think that would be super cool. And it wouldn't be something that you'd have to charge like $60 for, although I'm sure Konami would. But, I liked Dead Cells, and I'm going to check out this DLC. There's 51 different Castlevania songs in the game. The DLC comes out on March 6th of 2023. Tron Identity was up next. It looks like a storybook novel game. They literally showed no sort of gameplay beyond just talking between people. I thought that was kind of weird. Comes out in April. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. Now, this was a DS game that flopped, but it did have a huge cult following. People honestly loved this game because it was kind of something different, and for just whatever reason it wasn't a very big commercial success. I remember seeing this game a ton. I don't know that I've ever played it though. It's getting an HD version done. No release date. I don't have anything written in my notes about a release date, but I think it looks nice in HD. I think it might be a game that I'm end up checking out. Deca Police was up next, and honestly this looks pretty cool. I do have a lot of questions about it that were not answered by this trailer. It kind of looks like a Japanese spin on a sort of open world crime solving game where you're obviously Deca Police, and they're trying to find criminals both on the streets and within the police organization, that sort of stuff. It is a 2023 game coming to us from Level 5. I just am curious about more of the exploration and stuff. There's different types of combat that they showed in the trailer, but I almost wonder if this is a multi-platform game, because this game honestly looked gorgeous. I thought this looked super good from a graphical standpoint, just from a performance standpoint. So very cool looking game. Deca Police, definitely something that's on my radar. Bayonetta Origins was shown next. I'm sorry, but I still cannot care about this game whatsoever. It doesn't look bad at all, kind of, but it doesn't look like a Bayonetta game, and considering the Bayonetta franchise is very niche to begin with, I'm not sure if this is for fans of Bayonetta or if this is to try and get new fans of Bayonetta, because Bayonetta 3 barely sold 1 million copies in its first few months, and that game was in development for 5 years. I struggle to think of the amount of money, time, and effort that both Platinum and Nintendo put into that game just to see it not sell all that great, especially when you consider the size of the system. It's very comparable to sort of Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U, and that sold 13 million. We're at 122 million with the Switch. I'm sorry, I don't care about this game. Splatoon 3 DLC was up next. Does anyone feel like this game doesn't quite have the same social presence that the other two games have? I just feel like it's a bit quiet online for Splatoon 3, and that's weird to me because I think this is probably the best Splatoon game that they've ever released. So they showed off the DLC. The original Inkopolis from Splatoon 1 is back. I'm not sure what else is in these DLC packs, though, because they showed off Inkopolis from Splatoon 1. They showed off some weird cryptic thing called Side Order, which is Wave 2 DLC, but, like, they didn't say anything about, like, new weapons and new maps, unless I just kind of zoned out, which I may have, but I don't recall seeing anything from that. So, you know, that's okay, I guess. I just want to see how that sort of plays out. Disney Illusion Island was up next. Are we boycotting this game because of Walt Disney? Look at my Hogwarts Legacy video if you don't get that joke. I don't hate this game. It's a 2D action platformer. I think it looks cool, but the characters are too damn small. They're too damn small. I'm sorry. Like, they're animated awesome, but the levels just seem way too big, and the characters seem like way too small. They're like ant-sized. There is 4-player local co-op. No mention of online because, I mean, it's only 2023. Why would there be online co-op for a game that, you know, would do well with it? It looks kind of cool. I'm just not sure what's the price point for this game. Are we trying for a full-on price point for it? That'll remain to be seen. Fire Emblem Engage DLC was up next. I've actually really been enjoying this game. I play it for like an hour or two at a time, but I'm not diving into this DLC. It's a long enough game as it is, and I don't feel like I'm missing out on too much. One of the waves of DLC is coming out today, which seems very soon because, you know, Fire Emblem Engage just came out, but hey, whatever. Harmony, The Fall of Reverie was up next. You know, at this point of the presentation, I'm like, you know what? I don't think this is a presentation for me. And like, this is one of those presentations where it's just going to keep going and I'm not going to be interested in anything that is happening, which ended up being not the case at all because holy shit, this things get crazy. It's your artsy fartsy game. It's a narrative adventure. Fans of the genre might want to check it out. I will not be checking it out. June 2023. There's an Octopath 2 demo that's available now. It comes out soon. We love Katamari Remastered. Finally something for me. I love these games. I love Katamari games. There's new challenges in them as well. Day one purchase for me. Comes out on June 2nd. Sea of Stars was showcased next. I remember seeing this game and a lot of hype around it, you know, a sort of Super Nintendo style HD JRPG game. I don't know how all these people have all the time to play all these JRPG games, because it seems like these JRPGs come out all the time and like people constantly buy them and it's like the same people and it's like, are you actually playing these games? Like, where do you find this time? It looks good though. It comes out on August 29th. There is a free demo available today. Omega Strikers, a free-to-play air hockey style 3v3 online game that will be dead in a few weeks probably, and you'll hear about it being shut down in a month. Comes out on April 28th. A Tron Odyssey Origins collection is coming. Now, I know I said it wrong. I never do. I used to call it like E-Terrain because I played these games I played the first game on the DS. I actually got into a dungeon crawler stage on the DS because there were so many good ones, and this was definitely one of them. Now, all three of the original games are being remastered in HD. I definitely enjoyed my time with the first game on the DS, so it's nice to see that this isn't like a dead franchise. It comes out on June 1st. You can buy it in a bundle and get all three, or you could buy the games individually. Hey, Advance Wars, it's not canceled. Let's freaking go, man. It's not coming out until April 21st. I don't know why they're still like waiting. Like, hopefully, look, I don't care what happens. You just got to release this game. You just got to release it. Just let it happen. Nobody's gonna, be mad. Well, people are gonna be mad at you on Twitter, but Twitter is not a real place. Then they showed off the new Kirby game that's coming out. It has an epilogue after beating the game that's brand new with up to 4 people you can play it. And of course, it's 4 players locally only. Oh, Nintendo, never change. A demo is available for the game after the Direct. And of course, Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe is coming out on February 24th. I don't think I'm buying this game. Like, I just don't see myself buying and playing this game. And, at this point of the presentation, I'm like, well, whatever. We're probably going to get some Zelda, and then we're going to move on. But now let's get into the heavy hitters, folks. Now Nintendo was like, all right, RGT, we got you, bro. We got you. We know you've been a little bit down on us lately. We've got some stuff to make you excited. New systems coming to Nintendo Switch Online today, as in right now, as in I'm going to be downloading them after I'm done with this video. They're adding Game Boy and Game Boy Color games finally. We got Tetris, Super Mario Land 2, The 6 Golden Coins, Link's Awakening DS, Gargoyle's Quest, Alone in the Dark New Nightmare, Metroid 2, Return of Samus, Wario Land 3, Kirby's Dream Land, and you have different Game Boy filters that you you could choose from either the original Game Boy with the green, the Game Boy Pocket, which is the black and white, or the Game Boy Color, which of course gives you different color options. Up to 2 players can play online. They showed off some other games that are coming to this as well. Freaking finally, Nintendo. Why didn't you do this in September? Like, you should have done this in September, but whatever. Better late than never. I was very excited for this. The Game Boy is for the standard Switch Online, so you do not need the expansion pack. But if you have the expansion pack, there's also something else for you with Game Boy Advance, because the Game Boy Advance is coming to the expansion pack today as well. We're talking games such as Super Mario Advance 4, WarioWare Inc., some weird-ass game, I didn't write down a title, Mario Kart Super Circuit, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, Minish Cap, up to 4 players locally and online with this. This is available for Expansion Plus members only. Look, that's a huge deal because that's 3 systems. You know, they're classifying it as 2. They put the Game Boy stuff together. But I'm sorry, Game Boy and Game Boy Color are 2 completely different systems. The Game Boy Color is substantially more powerful. That's why there's games dedicated for the Game Boy Color. There's no way in hell that Alone in the Dark New Nightmare would run on a standard Game Boy, but it was available to run on a Game Boy Color. A pretty underrated, it's honestly a technical marvel. I'm super excited for this. 3 new systems in one day, and it's like, this is the kind of stuff you need to be doing, Nintendo. This is the kind of value you need to be giving your Nintendo fans. So I'm watching this and I'm like, freaking A, man. We finally got some good stuff. We finally got some good stuff. You know, just give me my little Zelda trailer. I'll be on my way. But then Nintendo was like, hey, got something else for you, Playboy. I don't know why I did that. It's, you know, New Orleans rap. Metroid Prime Remaster. It's coming out today. Digitally, it's available today. Yeah, completely out of nowhere. They are doing a physical version of the game that will be available on February 22nd. It's been a very long time since I played Metroid Prime, so I'm definitely looking forward to playing through this again. I don't really know what they've done from a graphical standpoint, because I've seen so many videos of like Dolphin running this game and it looks kind of like those. They did add a new dual stick control system so that, you know, it plays like a modern shooter, or you could play it with an original style. There's a bunch of different control options. They showed off some of the game. I don't know the price. I don't know the price. You know what? I'm going to look it up right now on my phone while we do this together, because when I started filming this video, it never gave a price for the game. And I feel like that's kind of an important thing. So let's see, refreshing Metroid. No, it still doesn't have a damn price. So I don't know the price of this. Is it a $60 thing? You know, is that a bit too high for a game that looks pretty similar to the original? I don't know. I'm freaking buying it anyways, because I'll just make a video on it. But yeah, let's go. I was very excited. There was some weeb-esque game called Master Detective Archives Rain Mode. After this, I couldn't care less about it because I was excited. Baten Kaitos is getting a remaster as well, and this remaster actually looked really good. The GameCube is alive and well, evidently. Now, these were card-based JRPG games that were very niche for the GameCube, but a lot of people like them, and a lot of people are like, where's a new Baten Kaitos? Like, Baten Kaitos and Golden Sun are like 2 RPGs that people always seem to bring up, and they're like, where is it? Why aren't we getting a new one? This will be out in summer of 2023. Fantasy Life, which is a Sims Animal Crossing-esque game. I think I played one of these on the DS. Like, I could be wrong, though. Comes out in 2023. A Professor Layton teaser trailer. New courses for Mario Kart Deluxe 4 were revealed. Birdo is coming, so that's pretty freaking cool. There was a sizzle reel for some games. I wasn't really paying attention. Then we get Tears of the Kingdom. Now, all your Zelda websites are going to be, you know, diving deep into this. Obviously, I'm looking at this from the surface level. Once again, it was a short trailer because they're going to be doing, you know, like a full-on presentation for this game. I think we all understand that, but there are some people that don't understand that. Now, there's going to be like new vehicles and new traversal mechanics in the game. They showed off some really interesting stuff, like a way to fly through the sky, sort of like a land vehicle. I don't know if you have to build that or you find that, how that sort of works. They showed off some new enemies, some new voices, of course, new story, new elements to look for within the game. They showed off some of the combat, but honestly, it was still just this very simple teaser trailer. But you know, I think at this point, we all kind of know what's coming, and it's just nice to see something different from this game, because I'm tired of seeing the stupid door. I'm tired of, you know, oh, look, he's flying through the sky. Like, I want to see Hyrule. It does look very similar to Breath of the Wild, like you would imagine it would, but I am interested to see the differences in the world, like in the layout and stuff like that. It looks great, though. It looks great. It's still scheduled for May 12th, meaning that, you know, we're going to get a full-on direct closer to launch. There's a collector's physical edition as well that comes with a bunch of extra goodies that will be impossible to get your hands on. You might have to kick someone in the head to get your hands on that. And that pretty much wrapped up the presentation. Now, there is a lot of rumors that Tears of the Kingdom is going to be a $70 game. I've heard some things about that. Obviously, I'm not going to comment or speculate on it too much because I've heard reasoning and I can't really talk about what the reasoning would be. But if this is indeed a $70 game, that's going to be a whole nother situation. But overall, what did I think about this direct? I think it was pretty good. You know, they lost me in the first half. In the first half, I was like, oh God, like, oh man, I'm gonna piss off so many people because I'm not enjoying this. But once we got to some of the games that I liked, you know, the Katamari's, the Metroid, the Super Nintendo, the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance stuff coming online, you know, the Tears of the Kingdom trailer, I realized this was a really good presentation in terms of stuff that I look for, you know, new game announcements, surprises, updates, and stealth drops. And we got all of that. You got freaking Metroid Prime Remaster as a stealth drop today. You got all these demos as a stealth drop. Metroid Prime Remaster was a game we didn't even know really existed. I mean, how often had we talked about that game? And now it's actually out. So I really enjoyed this presentation. You know, by the end of it, they definitely sort of reeled me back in. There were some lulls in the action, you know, games that maybe people would enjoy that I didn't enjoy. I understand that. You know, I can only speak for myself, but overall, man, there was definitely some heavy hitter stuff, some stuff that I just was blown away by, and some stuff I'm genuinely excited for. Now I have 3 new systems to play with Switch Online. I'm gonna boot up some Metroid Prime Remaster. I'm trying to think of like which video I should do first. You know, I'll probably, I think I figured it out in my head, but yeah, good stuff, Nintendo. Good stuff. You know, I was definitely a little bit worried. There was a lot of mystery going into this direct because of the sort of open-endedness, like what's going to happen. I am surprised that there's not a freaking Mario game, like with the Mario movie coming out, but overall, good stuff. Good stuff. I definitely was won back by the end. So let me know in the comment section down below what you think of this. Are you looking forward to playing old games once again? Because I sure as hell am, even though the retro gaming community hates me. Keep sharing that post of the video that I made with the problem with the retro gaming community. All you're doing is just simply, you're proving me right by doing that. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, share the video around, and as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.